while the world moves toward what is realistically a model of development that is realistically not that effective, Laos is doing something pretty interesting. And of course, when you look at Laos, when you see Vietnam and how the country functions, you don't think immediately of development. In fact, quite often you think of the opposite. You think of the lack of development. You think of a least developing country. However, Laos realistically is pivoting at breakneck speed, and it's not doing them poorly. It is, in fact, giving them some of the most impressive numbers when it comes to the speed at which they have been fixing problems. And if you watch until the end, I'll show you and tell you exactly how that is the case. And if you want to learn where you should go to escape the woes of what is realistically countries that are unsure what exactly to spend money on and develop into, feel free to reach down into the description, click on that Google Forms link, fill out this out one page, and we'd love to help you to understand exactly where, realistically, when we're speaking on Laos, first thing that anyone will tell you is the fact that, of course, the inflation is fairly high here, and this has been no secret to anyone that even lives here. However, there's something a little bit deeper here in Laos that people aren't talking about. Now, for the longest time, Laos did have this issue of perpetual inflation adjustment, perpetual inability, so to speak, to tame their currency. But that has changed. And in fact, in a lot of the cases that I've dealt with Laos, in a lot of the ways I've dealt with, I can get currency. I was recently at the ATM. I have Laotian kip, and the rate at which the ATM gave me money and the rate at which the supposed black market rate was not that much different. And this may sound very simple. This may sound like, well, yeah, if you're getting money from the ATM, you should get the same cost. But realistically, that's nearly never the case, or that wasn't the case in Laotian terms just a few months ago. And as a result, the Laotian economy is doing much better than what people are saying. And on the surface, the GDP growth, on the surface, the inflation rate, on the surface, all of these numbers are not doing fantastically. However, that is partially as a result of the dependency that Laos faces on external partners. And it has been long known that Laos is completely dependent on imports, particularly from Thailand, Vietnam, and China. And when you look at how these things work, when you look at the import dependency, they are actually moving towards completely rewriting that. And it's actually partially due to the United States. For the longest time, Laos and the United States were not on amazing terms. Of course, if you know anything about the history of this region, Laos is one of the, if not the most bombed country per capita. And it's as a result of this that, of course, the United States isn't very appreciated, let's say, in domestic politics, which, of course, leads to what is a very hard time to U-turn. And unlike Vietnam, and unlike Cambodia, that have pivoted away from China out of necessity, Laos has not reached that point yet. And they're starting to, but of course, these things take time. And the Laotians are starting to realize exactly what that means. As an American here in Laos currently, I can tell you that the opinions are changing somewhat. I can get a visa on arrival with relative ease. I can spend money here, and it's not that big a deal. And when I look at how that is functioning and how the state is moving towards more openness, how the state is less reliant on one specific partner, I also see massive manufacturing deals being signed. I see a lot of aluminum deals being signed, and these aren't to specifically China. And in fact, a lot of it is through the United States. It's through consortiums ran by US companies. And Laos has long been what people criticize as a Chinese vassal state. However, as I describe it, they are Thai culturally, Viet politically, and Chinese developmentally. So you'll see a lot of Chinese built buildings. You'll see a lot of influence from the overall Sinosphere, let's say. But you'll also see newer companies popping up that are state-led to help with investment from Americans, from people from all over the world. And it's through this, I think, that development will become easier. It will become more of a plug-and-play system. For the longest time, additionally, Laos did not really enjoy a ton of migration. They didn't want it either. However, as time has moved on, you can now get Laotian citizenship through way of investment. If you want to put in $1 million into the Laotian economy, you can get citizenship here in Laos. And it's with this that, of course, as it opens up, there is a lot more opportunity. And while there isn't clear laws yet, I think that that's where you should be positioning yourself. Move where you can influence policy. Move where your money is appreciated. Move where your money matters. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it. If you really appreciate my reporting here on the ground in Vietnam, feel free to subscribe. If you want a additional video on perhaps specific things about Laos, feel free to comment down below. Figure out exactly what you want me to research. If you are looking for a way to go abroad and move exactly where you would get the most benefit, feel free to drop down into the description. Fill out the Google Forms. It only takes a few minutes, and you'll get a very good idea as to where you should go. With that said, this has been the Traveling Report, signing off.